All right, this class is going to be all about the pecs and the chest wall. Should feel pretty good. It's one of my favorites because I'm super tight through the shoulders. You're going to start by setting yourself up for some floor angels. So you can use a bolster, but I'm using a dome and a block because I don't currently have a bolster. So you get to choose. You just need your shoulders to be up off the ground a little bit. You're going to lay yourself down. And one thing to monitor when you're doing angels is what your ribs are doing. So you want those guys to stay nice and gentle on the ground. And you're also going to try to avoid lifting your shoulder blades like in that elevation part of the car. So just try a couple lifts to feel what that's like. So you're going to try to avoid doing that. You're going to try to avoid lifting your ribs. Reach your hands out and just let's start lazy. Just let them sweep up towards the spot at the top of your head, all around towards the top. This is going to be the third time I've shot this class, and I can definitely feel it in my chest and shoulders now. So it's funny, you don't think these things are too challenging, but you do them a few times and you can really tell your muscles have been working. So nice gentle sweeps here. Really letting your ribs stay heavy. So if your ribs want to lift, if your shoulders want to elevate, what you're going to think about doing is lifting your arms a little higher up off the ground. And the same goes if you're feeling any discomfort in the shoulder joint. Just see if you can elevate your arms a little bit higher and just try to go to a place where you can do it pain-free. Just enjoying that nice gentle movement. Gentle but harder than you might give it credit for being. So this is a very basic angel. Step one of the floor angel is just this really nice, relaxed movement. Let's just do maybe 2 more sweeps here. I always feel lots of blood flow coming into the chest wall here. This is a great prep for hanging because especially any kind of side hanging or brachiation, these same muscles, the pectoralis muscles, are the ones that we want to be working for us. Now let's come up to seated. We're going to do a few scapular cars just to really work on bringing some awareness to that scapular area. We're going to do them a little differently today. Feel free to sit on something. You can bolster however you'd like to. What you're going to do is you're going to reach your hands out in front of you like that floor angel type position. You're going to reach. So imagine that I'm pulling your elbows away from each other. So you're really reaching at the shoulder. And now here you are going to elevate all the way up, squeeze all the way in, pull down. So you're still reaching your arms away, but now you're also pulling your shoulder blades in. Now let everything reach out. Feel those shoulder blades protract. Pull them up to the ceiling. Feel that elevation. Squeeze them in. Pull them down. Reach out. Up, in. And then the other way. So up, out as far as you can go. Down. Pull in. All the way up. Out. Down. In. Up. Out. And down. So scapular movement doesn't necessarily help you stretch these pecs, but you do want to be able to stabilize your scaps so that you can get more into your pecs. So if you're just moving, if you try retracting, so do the pulling the shoulder blades back together, you're kind of moving this whole shoulder chest chunk all at the same time. So you need to keep your scaps stable and then move at your shoulder joints if you want to have a big change in your pectoralis wall, which is what we're going to work on with this variation of angels, which is my personal go-to. So you're going to lay yourself back down on your bolstering. Let your ribs be heavy. Check on your shoulder blades. Make sure they're not reaching too high towards your ears. And what you're going to do here is you're going to reach your arms up to the ceiling. So I always feel like I'm a book, and my body is the spine of the book here, and my arms are the sides of the book. I'm going to reach really high here, and that's going to protract my shoulder blades. So that's like the wide part of the cars. Now keeping your shoulder blades wide, keep stretching through your shoulders. Now open up your arms like the hands of a book. At a certain point, you're not going to be able to open up your arms any further without the whole shoulder blade situation changing. So keep your shoulder blades wide, Let your arms keep reaching. And I don't know about you, but this is where I really feel a lot of stretch through my chest wall, but also through my biceps. So I just like to hang out here a little bit. Maybe move up and down in some little ranges of motion, exploring this area. And one thing to watch for here, because there's a lot of nerves here, and if your shoulders are tight, you may feel some nervy stuff. Nervy stuff feels tingly, a little bit like pins and needles maybe. So if you feel like that, just come out a little bit. Don't reach quite so far, or lift your arms a little bit so you don't, it's not ideal to go into nervy stuff, I think. Just exploring this lovely range, or horrible range, depending on how tight you are. It's like little flappers. And this is a place where I like to stay in my tightest area because I feel like that's the bit that needs it the most. But if you feel like you'd like to experiment, keeping your shoulder blades wide and reaching up towards the ceiling, keeping your shoulder blades wide and reaching down, you can certainly do that. You can keep imagining that someone's pulling your arms apart at the elbows. Team of wild horses on either arm. All right, and then let's come back into the sort of like smaller range. What you're going to do here are some cars. So we're going to do some axial capsule cars. So deep in the shoulder, what you're going to do is you're going to roll your elbow pits all the way in and down. So you're internally rotating. And at the bottom of your rotation, just really try to get a little bit more rotation out of that. So crank that rotation at your shoulders. Don't let your shoulder blades lift off though. This is just for the shoulder joint. And now reverse, other way, going all the way into your best external rotation, reaching, keeping the shoulder blades wide, reaching from the shoulders, externally rotating as much as you can, and then internally rotating again. Holding for about 4 seconds and as much internal rotation as possible. I'm keeping a slight mini bend in my elbow here just so I don't go right into my hyperextension. And then externally again, all the way, trying to keep the shoulder blades down and wide, keeping them from doing this big scoopy thing, but letting the arm bones spin in their sockets, and then working to screw them in a little bit further, as much as you can here. So I'm getting a little shaky, which is a sign that I'm working hard. Let's do one more. So all the way into internal rotation, really getting into that end range. It can be the harder one. We work a lot in internal rotation, but we still work in a limited range. And then all the way into external rotation. And then take a second. Let that just flop down completely. What you can do just to take a break is take your arms above you, palms up, elbow pits are facing one another. Reach your arms all the way to the top of your head, keeping your ribs down, and then out and back into that angel position. And from here, what we're going to do is, again, reaching the shoulder blades wide, keeping them down. And here what we're going to do are some forearm cars. So you're going to bring your hands in towards your biceps, rotate palms facing the other direction, press them out. Rotate your hands, keeping your arm bones still. You're irradiating here like any cars, so you're working to bring your hands in. Your whole body is slightly tighter than it would be if you were not doing a cars. Palms rotate to outwards, press down and away. And now rotate palms up, rotate palms back down. Pull the backs of your hands into your arms, rotate backs of hands out, press out. One more time. So palms face down, pull in towards your biceps, palms face your arms, rotate out. So adding a few cars to any of your stretches and movements can give your body a whole new way to get some awesome feedback. Now we're going to finish the angels part of this with a little bit of weight. So it's up to you whether you'd like to use the weight or not. It's entirely a personal decision. You can use anything for this. I've just got a couple of cans of things I found in my mother's pantry. You could use regular weights. Just make sure it's light. So we're going to start this guy again by reaching right up in the ceiling. Protract your arms. Try to be that spine of a book and let your book covers open out wide without the spine collapsing at all. So stay wide. And yeah, you can find that place where if you go any further, your shoulder blades are going to start to collapse, which would look like that. So shoulder blades stay wide and reaching. Arms are extending straight out from the shoulder blades. And you're just going to do some little angels right here. Try to move just from the shoulder joint here. So that means no ribs moving, no shoulders coming up towards your ears. You're making this a nice small movement. And of course, that also means you're not just doing elbow bends. You're trying to move at the glenohumeral joint or the shoulder joint. And it's really interesting because you don't need a lot of weight here to really feel the work. So this is a really nice antidote for all that chest shortening screen time that we all spend a lot of time doing. It's nice, easy, swooping motions. The rest of your body is nice and still. And I don't need to do a whole heck of a lot of these to really feel it. So I'm going to put my cans down and come up, and we're just going to finish this little class with one more set of scapular cars. This time with a block in front. Holding that block, externally rotate your elbow pits so they're pointing up to the ceiling. Ribs stay down. Lift your shoulders up. Pull your shoulders forward. Pull them down. Squeeze them back. Stay squeezed. Go all the way up. Pull forward and wide. Down. Back. Squeeze all the way up. Wide. Reverse. Squeeze in. Pull down. Wide. Squeeze up. Back. Down. Out. And up. All right. Lots of nice chest and scapular work there. Hope you're feeling lots of blood flow in the area. For this week's home practice, I'm going to suggest you try any version of the floor angels. Just a little bit, 2 to 5 minutes every day this week. See how your chest and shoulders respond to that. Should be pretty nice, and I certainly notice a big difference when I do this one regularly. Catch you in the next class.